This is one of the most special alcoholic drinks we have here in Hungary. Unicum. Egészségünkre! It's a super bitter dark liquid that's full of herbs and spices, and it's a real punch for your stomach and your soul as well. There is no better way to start a traditional Hungarian family gathering around a table full of food. It is a drink that's part of our culture with a unique and interesting history, so in today's video we'll dive deep into exploring the many Unicum products available today and learn about the complex story behind this bitter aperitif. Unicum is similar to Jaegermeister, as both are liqueurs made from many different herbs and spices. But while I find Jaegermeister generally sweeter, Unicum is more bitter and has a more prominent medicinal taste to it. Jaeger is like the cousin in the family who's young, upbeat and positive, and Unicum is like the grandpa who was made tougher and stronger during the hard times he lived. And this metaphor about one being young and the other old is even more prominent when we look at their origins. Jaegermeister dates back to about 1934, while Unicum's history goes all the way back to 1790. According to legends, at the end of the 18th century, an ancestor of the Zwack family worked as a doctor at the court of the Holy Roman Emperor and Habsburg ruler of Joseph II. One day, when the emperor was suffering from a stomach illness, Dr. Zwack cooked up a liquor made from many different herbs and spices. Yes, those were times when alcohol was considered as a cure, and maybe one of the reasons why life expectancy was much lower in those days. Anyways, the dark and bitter liquor that Dr. Zwack served has miraculously healed the emperor from the stomach pains, who told the doctor the following: "Das ist ein Unicum," which just means "that is unique" in German. And that is where the origin of the drink and its name comes from. But let's just say that the Zwack company behind Unicum is really creative about business and marketing, because there are no written records of any Dr. Zwack working for Joseph II. But even if it's true or not, it's still a fun legend about the drink and its origins. Unicum is a mix of more than 40 different herbs and spices, but we really don't know the exact number and all the ingredients, as it's a secret kept safe by the company. But this basis can be found in all the different products that are made today, and each different Unicum drink has some sort of a twist to create something new and interesting. Like, for example, the Unicum Silva, which is all about plums. Plums are native fruits to Hungary and have been part of our cuisine in many different shapes and forms, like the plum dumplings or the plum pálinka fruit brandy. Unicum Silva is where these traditional elements come together. The base liquor of regular Unicum is rested on top of dried plums and then aged in oak barrels. Egészségünkre! The smell is already less spicy, but let's see how bitter or how much of the plum can we actually feel in the end. It's still bitter, but it's much less bitter than the original Unicum, and it's much smoother. It has this fruity undertone, and if you wait long enough you can actually feel the plums just a little bit. In all honesty, the original Unicum, even Wikipedia says that it's an acquired taste, and that is very accurate, but this one is much easier to taste, much smoother, much better. In my opinion, if you don't really like the regular Unicum, then maybe try to start with Unicum Silva, because this one is actually a little bit easier and a little bit friendlier. By the way, today you'll see a golden cross on each of these bottles, which refers back to its origins as a drink that was believed to have a medicinal effect. But back in the day, they were actually using a red cross with a white background on the bottles. The Zwack company paid money to the Hungarian Red Cross organization for the rights to use that symbol, but later they changed it to a golden cross on a red background in order to avoid further legal complications with the organization. The company behind Unicum was founded by József Czwak in the 1840s, and by the end of the century they were making around 200 different drinks, one of them being Unicum. The drink started to become more and more popular at the beginning of the 20th century, when the world of advertising started to change with newer and more innovative designs. Before these times, adverts were more focusing on companies and factories and not the products themselves, but Czwak was a pioneer at this aspect of the business too. They started to focus more on the products and treated each advertisement poster as a form of art, with simple and oftentimes fun messaging. The most legendary poster was called The Man in the Water, showing a shipwrecked sailor who, even in this time of tragedy, can be happy just by finding a bottle of Unicum. Yeah, alcohol leads to happiness. Those were different times indeed. By the way, if you enjoyed the video so far and the work that we do, we really appreciate if you just click the like button. But if you wish to support us even more, you can check out our merch via the link in the description, or you can donate to us via the thanks button. But you can also become a regular supporter by clicking the join button. Then you'll be a member of a super awesome group of people like they are over here. We appreciate all the support we get. And now, let's get back to more Unicum. But by the way, in this video I'm not actually drinking all of the Unicum because it's a lot of alcohol, it has a high alcohol content. So anyways, if you enjoy alcohol, make sure to always enjoy it responsibly. The next Unicum product is the Unicum Barista. As the name suggests, this may be interesting for coffee enthusiasts, as the original Unicum liqueur is infused with roasted Arabica coffee beans, and then finally it is aged in oak barrels. Egészségünkre! Already you can smell the powerful coffee just before tasting it, but let's see if the coffee flavor comes through. This is by far one of the most unique Unicum drinks and possibly the furthest from the original Unicum. The coffee and the, let's say, the bitter herbal tastes kind of balance them each other out. So it's not really as bitter as a coffee, but it's also not as bitter as a Unicum herbal liqueur. It's somewhere in between, and it is unique, but I would say this is one of my least favorites from all. However, if you're interested how coffee bitterness and herbal liqueur bitterness can come together, maybe you can give this one as well a shot. By the way, my lovely producer behind the camera is already telling me that my face is getting red. But anyways, if you just want to get a taste of these and don't want to take large bottles home as souvenirs, most of them come in different sizes. There are even very small bottles you can buy, so if you just want to try some of them or want to give a small gift to friends or family, then look for the smaller editions. The traditional sizes of the drink will always come in these spherical shaped bottles. This is also a reference to their sort of connection to medicine and science, as a sphere is considered the ultimate and perfect form, and according to some philosophers, the shape of a healthy and balanced soul. But getting back to history, thanks to the innovative advertising strategy of the company, sales were booming in the early 20th century, and the Czwak company was even shipping products overseas. However, thanks to the Great Depression that devastated the economies of the world, and especially the Prohibition era in the US when alcohol was banned, the sales of the Czwak products fell drastically. But even during these difficult times, the company showed how smart and creative they can be when it comes to business. As a large part of their factory was unused, they converted it to produce a different kind of product: light bulbs and neon lamps. And this was the age when the nights in Budapest became brighter, thanks to neon advertisements everywhere, and the Czwak company made a pretty good deal by selling their own neon lights cheaper in return for some space to advertise their own goods, like Unicum. Unfortunately, the story of Unicum and the company behind it turned darker after World War II, when the communists started privatizing companies across the country. While the state took control of the Tzwak company, part of the family remained and got relegated to factory employees, and the other members fled to the United States. But while the communist leaders thought they got control over the recipe of the famous Unicum, something was just not right with the flavor. Something was off. It wasn't bad, but it didn't taste the same. And that is because the family actually handed over a fake recipe. The original secret recipe was taken abroad, leading to a long fight over who actually has the rights abroad for the famous Aperitif. Using the real recipe, the exiled Tzwak family members have set up manufacturing in Milan, Italy, to start their own production of the liqueur. And from this moment, there were two Unicums in the world: the state-owned version from Hungary and the one with the original taste but made abroad. After a long legal battle, the Tzwak family regained the rights to their name and the Unicum brand and became the sole distributor of the drink in the West. Their newest drink, the Unicum Orange Bitter, is a product of memories from these times. During the years when they produced Unicum in Italy, the family found out that many Italians enjoyed drinking the liqueur on ice with a slice of orange. This new product is made by infusing bitter orange peels and other citrus ingredients into the original base herbal liqueur. You can already see that the color is less dark than the ones we tried before, and if you smell it, there is already a little bit of citrus in the smell. Now let's try it. Egészségünkre. Honestly, from all the non-original Unicums, this one is actually one of my favorite ones because the bitterness is still there. However, that nice little orange and citrusy taste is actually adding a little bit to it, and it's much easier to drink this one. The only problem that I have is that these ones currently only come in these huge sizes. This one is 1 liter of a bottle. So if you want to taste this, then unfortunately this is what you have to buy. But hey, if the Tzwak company is watching this, then hopefully you guys will make smaller bottles of this so more people can enjoy and take these home as souvenirs. Also, another note is that the company actually recommends this to be enjoyed the same way as the Italians did back in those days, with ice and a slice of orange. But I also enjoy it just on its own. Once the Iron Curtain fell and democracy was restored in Hungary, Péter Tzwak returned to the country, and with the help of a German liqueur maker, Peter Underberg, he bought back the liqueur manufacturing company and the factory that was forcibly taken away from his family decades ago. And this was the start of the new and unified era of Unicum and Hungarian liqueur, making the Tzwak company one of the largest and most important producers of alcoholic drinks of the country. As they tried to appeal to a wider audience, they released a drink called Unicum Next. The idea was simple: make a drink that's less bitter so more people can enjoy it. But it turned out people didn't want a lighter and weaker Unicum, and over time this version was phased out from the Hungarian market. The Unicum that is sold in the United States today is much closer to this lighter and easier drink we knew as Unicum Next. So if you are from the States but want to taste the real Unicum, you'll likely have to try it here in Hungary. After Unicum Next, the company returned to focus on innovation, and over time they have created some unique takes on the herbal liqueur, along with some of the most unique and artistic, cool commercials for the brand. And in 2015, their signature drink received the title of Hungaricum, which is a recognition for products and items that are important for Hungarian history and our heritage. Their success in experimentation has led to the creation of one of my personal favorite versions of the drink, the Unicum Riserva. This is also a combination of different aspects of Hungarian culture. the historic liquor we learned about, and wine from the Tokaj region. Unicum is further aged by using old wine barrels from one of the most famous Hungarian wine regions. And the result is not your average aperitif anymore, served before heavy meals. It has an elegant, soft and mature taste that perfectly combines the bitterness with a hint of that sweet honey-like taste of a tokai asszú wine. Egészségünkre! Nice! Unfortunately, they are only available in these large bottles, but if your luggage has the space, I would absolutely recommend getting your hands on one of these. Now there's also a higher end version called Unicum Trésor, where the liquor is aged in French cognac barrels. But it's really hard to get your hands on those as they are made in super limited quantities, but hopefully one day I can try that as well. So if the Cwak company is watching this, please reach out. Thanks! Unicum may be bitter and an acquired taste, which can be a metaphor of the bitter hardships Hungarians have endured during history, but their logo refers to a very nice motto they have, Csak pozitívan, or only positive. Like swallowing this bitter drink is also like swallowing the bitter things in life and to continue ahead with a more positive attitude. Hope you guys enjoyed learning about this Hungarian drink, and the next time when you visit, you'll give them a shot. Let us know in the comments below which one is your favorite. And if you want to learn more about Hungarian drinks, like wine or wine regions for example, then check out this video. And also, make sure to subscribe to see more content of Hungary and Hungarian culture. See you guys in those future videos. Bye!